Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Metal Marauder. Is it good? Oh yeah! Dude, this gun is absolutely wacky. This is a crazy weapon. It is, this is exactly what the metal was designed for. Absolutely slow trash reload, hit like an absolute truck. This doesn't work so well when you're working, playing with automatic weapons, but when you're working with a rocket launcher, this is a dream come true. So we're going to cover everything about the black metal launcher today. This thing was a fun video to make. So we're going to cover all of the perk loadouts. We're going to cover the strategies. We're going to cover the numbers, some of the crazy numbers that we saw, and we're going to talk about the loadout that I use to get some of this gameplay. It is a fun one. The crazy gun. Alrighty then. Alright guys, so if you like the videos that we do here, if you love our content, please use our supporter creator code. It really helps us to keep doing all the stuff that we're doing here. So thank you so much for all the support, guys. Rock and roll. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the Metal Marauder. This thing is crazy. Okay, so right off the bat, the perk loadout that I went and used for this one is the same as all the other black metal weapons. It's amazing. This thing really absolutely smashes. These are essentially perfectly perked weapons. Crit rate, double crit damage, and a conditional effect. And the conditional effect is just staggeringly powerful, right? So it adds up to 80% bonus damage based on your percentage of your missing health. So the more injured that you are, the more damage that you do. This one also has an effect. This one, compared to the other ones, is kind of interesting. This one's it drains your health, but only when you stun or knock enemies back. So you stun them or knock them back, and it reduces your current health by 12.5%. This can occur once every 6 seconds. Every time that you get this effect, it will do between 29 and 127 base damage based on the percentage of your missing health. And this damage will actually affect a 0.75 tile radius, so pretty large, almost a full tile radius of splash damage, which is incredible. Doing this once every 6 seconds, ensures that at least once per fight. I want to say once per fight because this thing makes short work of your enemies. This thing is so powerful. I one shot killed a blaster like without even using any special modifiers. I was just like, oh hey, blaster, pop, dead. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Went one shot killed a mimic. I was like, oh, I like this weapon, man. I like this weapon. So this is the explosive weapon. Black metal uses explosive ammo to fire long-range rockets that deal damage to groups of enemies in a moderate radius. Now, I love the blast radius on this gun. This thing chunks a huge number of enemies. Moving around the battlefield, looking to kind of jump and get these nice placements of rockets to guarantee you hit the maximum amount of enemies. This has the accuracy of the V6, right? But the V6 doesn't have any splash radius. That's the big problem with the gun, is you could just blast damage and do super high damage per second. But when it comes to, really getting that, hitting a lot of enemies, which is what you really want from a rocket launcher, this is the one, man. This one here really encompasses that effect. This thing will hit a crowd and it will decimate everything. The numbers that you'll see bouncing off of this one are absolutely extreme. You're going to regularly see this thing hitting over 1 million damage. We also went with some modifiers, and I think the highest damage hit that I ended up seeing on this one was over 4 million. Like over 4 million damage. So nuts. So nuts. This thing is crazy, man. Just a crazy gun. I like the fire rate. I like I don't mind the 3 mag. The reload time feels appropriate for the weapon. You shoot you reload. You shoot, you reload. You got 3 in the mag, so you know your fire rate, you know, it feels just about right. Hey, you're just like dropping nukes into crowds, and then, you know, click, click. All right, here we go again. And you're lining up your shots because you want to make sure that because it fires slowly, you want to hit the maximum number of enemies. And you're really obviously you're aiming for those big targets, right? This build here, I specifically designed this for absolutely crushing mini bosses and smashers. The downside to this weapon, of course, is that it's physical or fire. I went with physical. Fire would have been really, really good against the nature enemies, but you know, you're rolling the dice. You don't know what kind of enemies you're gonna get from mission to mission. So because I want this to be relevant all the time, I went with physical rather than trying to use this specifically to poach on nature enemies. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go with a more consistent usage. That way I can use it against takers and blasters, and know that I'm basically gonna 1 or 2 shot kill them depending on the crit that you get. So yeah, it worked really, really well. All right, so moving over to the hero loadout for this one, we of course went with Demolitionist Penny. Demolitionist Penny is just a monster. She gives you an extra 50% launcher damage, which it's how we got those big hits, bro. How we got those big hits. We went with Blast in the Past. That way, when we were healthier, we would have a really, really nice big boost to our damage. And then when we got low on health, we would still have a decent boost to our damage. Alternatively, if you didn't want to take Blast in the Past, you could have definitely went with, you know, go with the one-shot kill build. Go with Preemptive Strike. This one gives you 6.5% times 5 damage on the full health enemies. So on that first hit, you can get this big, huge, massive, just boom, right? A huge boom. But I wanted to run with a little bit more survivability. I don't like running, you know, having crippled levels of health and just basically getting deleted the first time that a gunslinger shoots at you, takes a shot at you. So I wanted to go with a more realistic build, like a build that was realistically I would play, like rather than going for the highlight reel, which I ended up getting anyway with this build because it's like insane. You know, pumping. I tested it without the pylon, and then I tested it with amplified health, and man, either way this thing cooks. But obviously, the more health you have, the more damage you're going to get from Blast in the Past. This thing removes all your shields and increases your max health by 200%, and then you get augmented by Saurian Hide and Saurian Might. Prehistoric Iza, raises your armor by 33, whereas Rex Jonesy, he raises your damage by 3% of whatever your current health is at, and you get that bonus every 1 second. Every 1 second, the next shot you shoot, you know, gets amplified. So the more health you have, the more damage you do for sure. This then, to augment it even further, we went with Locked and Reloaded. Since this gun has a tendency to reload, you know, I reload it constantly. Having that extra 15% damage for 5 seconds after doing a reload ended up being very, very easy to use, very powerful. It didn't feel clunky. It felt kind of right in line with the way that you were using the weapon anyway, so it doesn't really cause you to play differently. We also went with Unearthly Treat. Of course we did. This new character is just absolutely wild. Mr. Swamp Knight gives you a 42% bonus to your Miss Monster killing damage, so long as you're crippled on health, right? The more damage you've taken, the more damage you do. So because we're running it, like we're making sure that we're crippled the entire time, our health is super, super low, we're getting these monster shots at everything, but especially at Miss Monsters, because they're the ones that really need that maximum damage. We also went with the sub wafers. Now I tried to use these sparingly. I wanted to really test and showcase what this weapon would do without this boost, but I had to add this in, right? Main Stage Quinn, she'll give you these amazing sub wafers that you can get. You harvest metal, and they'll end up when you're in your inventory. You put them on your hotbar, and then you consume them. You get this 8-second bonus And it degrades, the damage degrades over time, but initially when you first pop it, you get a 50% damage bonus on your rocket. So you pop this thing and you just immediately fire, and that's how you get these big highlight reel, like, super shots, right? That's how I got the over 4 million damage. It was, yeah, it's crazy. If you use this character, I typically wouldn't use this character on, if I were to use this as a regular build, like consistently, you know, all the time, I probably wouldn't include this one. But you never know. I mean, it worked pretty well, especially when I was fighting the mini boss. Oh man, I would just basically pop a wafer, shoot 3 shots into the mini boss, you know, reload my gun, pop a wafer again, and then bum, just like unload. I actually soloed that mini boss surprisingly easy with a rocket launcher. Now, you got to remember that the rocket launchers have been changed. Now they work kind of the way that other weapons work. You don't have to craft so many of them, but you do have to craft a lot of ammo. So the crafting cost is, you know, it looks like a normal weapon now. It's not 3 anymore. It's 11 bright core, and you know, that's cool. But for me personally, I find that yeah, ammo just costs too much now, right? When you're you know, using 15 blast powder and 10 nuts and bolts, I mean, really the blast powder is the one that really affects you badly. When you get 15 blast powder for only 15 shots, you're gonna absolutely annihilate your stock, your supply. At, you know, it's such a startling rate that, you know, in one round, I think I crafted 3 stacks of rockets, and it just, like, I was like, wow, man. I was like watching, and it didn't last long, right? Like in one game, I blew through 3 stacks, 3 whole, like 450 rounds of rockets in one round, and that was like, man, I don't think I'm using rockets anymore. It's just too much. But you know, on the upside now, if you need something super mega powerful, you can choose to farm, right? These are now more of emergency weapons because of their extremely high cost in ammo crafting. It's going to really limit. You're not going to see people running around just getting their gun off like crazy. I know I had a blast running around just spamming obsidian rockets all day, every day, forever. I have literally unlimited obsidian, therefore I have literally unlimited rocket launchers, or at least I did before the changes. But now with these changes, they really got rid of that. They made it so there is no crazy rocket spam. If you want to get this extremely overpowered damage, if you're struggling on a level and you just can't get it done, now these rocket launchers are a lot more premium. You can farm your face off. You can go and get, you know, a few stacks of rocket ammo, which will take you time to collect now, because it's really, you know, you're going to burn this stuff like crazy, and you can use that to actually push through a match. But it's more special, right? You know that if somebody's spamming rockets, is because they farmed that with the intention of coming and really pushing a mission through. So you know that, you know, when you see a rocket launcher like this crazy insane rocket launcher, you know that people they're coming to win, right? They're coming to win because this rocket launcher is extraordinarily powerful, and this is one of those game-winning tools. Like, you can just nuke everything into dust with this one. If you include this in a base defense with traps, anything that walks into your base is going to get absolutely deleted. This weapon has incredible impact. The impact on this thing is so good. It will knock enemies flying. It will stop them in their tracks. Smashers will just, you know, cry when you smash them with this thing. There's just nothing they can do. Not only is the damage crazy, but the impact is crazy. So it's just a dominating, game-winning weapon. This is one of the best, yeah, easily one of the best rocket launchers ever in this game. Great area of effect. Absolutely ludicrous damage. It's not required to spam insane amounts of shots in order to get it done. But keep in mind, this has an ammo cost of 3, right? So It's efficient because it doesn't need a lot of shots, but it's also using 3 ammo costs, so beware. Either way, you know, you're going to be suffering a lot of grinding if you want to utilize this weapon, but it is definitely worth it if you need it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up, it really helps us out. Ring that little bell for notifications, and as always, leave a comment down below. Let me know what videos you want me to cover. Let me know what things you're interested in, and I will hook you guys up. I will try to make a video for absolutely every subject you guys could ever want to know about this amazing game and these amazing characters and weapons. Oh man, way too much fun. Way too much fun. I love new content. I'm so happy that this gun ended up being a huge winner because it was, yeah, I love it, man. It's some of these black medals are a really big disappointment, and other ones are a resounding success. So it's really neat to play these different play styles, and you know, high risk, high reward. Really fun. It's really fun to see different play styles being you know, being implemented into the game to kind of give it, you know, more diversity and just more things to test and try and play with. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being a part of the Vash Corps. Thank you for supporting Save the World and supporting this community and supporting me. Thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah!